Iasu Malagido. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Computer Love, Part 31.
In high school, I was in a big graduating class, so for that reason, I didn't get to know a lot of my classmates on a personal level. Using dating apps in college, though, I was able to match and kind of connect with a lot of the girls I'd never really spoken to back in high school. I was using my app of choice when I matched this girl, Maria. She was in my grade in high school. I followed her on Instagram and Snap already, but I never really got to know her in high school. I sent her the first message and asked her how she'd been. I talked to her about high school a lot, and how it was funny that we never really spoke or had any classes together. She said we should hang out that night. I asked if she'd want to meet somewhere for drinks or food, but she said she's down to just come hang at my place if that's cool.
So, right off the bat, hi guys, how are you? Ladies, thank you. Can we just admit, like, at this point, Tinder is fucked up? I mean, there's so many horrific stories on YouTube that are just, I've never been on Tinder. I think I tried it once and I couldn't log in properly, and it was a whole fucking thing. But the point is, after hearing all these stories, I'm extremely glad I haven't. Yeah, if a girl usually, says no to drinks and food, that's a big red flag for me, man. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that all women are looking for free drinks and food, but it's a nice bonus. I'm just saying, for the most part, unless you're dating someone or, you're trying to rekindle something, they might invite you over to the house again because, let's just say you don't need a roadmap, the second time. But the point is, it just, anyways.
Honestly, I like that idea even better. I told her sure. She asked if my parents were home. I told her no, only my sister. Then I gave her my address. She said she'd let me know when she's on her way. Then it was just a waiting game. I waited and waited for the notification saying Maria sent you a new message. In fact, it was going on past an hour. I sent a follow-up message on Tinder, but she didn't reply. A few minutes later, I checked her Instagram page and saw she posted a story a few minutes ago. It was a meme. Was she ignoring me now? I checked her Snap story, which was posted within half an hour, and she was apparently with her friend, another girl from our high school. I didn't understand. Was she coming or not?
No, she's not. I mean, if she does, no, she's not. See, this, listen, this could be fake, this could be not. We're going to see in a few minutes. But the point is, okay, I think we all know deep down, if something is too good to be true, it usually is. It's like Chris Rock said, it's that hoe sleep. And hoe sleep is when you think a girl is going to come over, so you stay up a little bit more. It's happened to me, more than I could count. You just stay up and you're like, okay, maybe she'll come by, maybe when she's done with her friends at the club, and, she doesn't. It's very, very rare it happens, and she always ends up being with a mother hen, and a mother hen is that one girl in the group that kind of controls all of them, and if she's not getting any dick, then neither are any of the other girls, and it's a whole thing. So just probably not, but you never know.
I commented on her story. Are you still coming later? She opened it a few minutes later and replied saying, "What are you talking about?" I repeated the question, then added a reference to the conversation on the app. She replied, "I don't have that app. Send me the profile." So I did, and she told me right away it was a catfish and to report it. I did so, and I think Tinder automatically unmatched the profile after that. But I wasn't concerned about someone using this girl's pictures. I was concerned someone had my address and knew my parents weren't home. I made sure every door was locked. I truly was expecting something to happen that night, but it was getting pretty late, and I was starting to feel a little more relaxed. When my guard was down, that's when it happened. A horrific scream from my little sister's room. I jumped off the couch to go run to her room. She opened the door just as I made it to the room, and we met at the doorway. She had this horrified look on her face, like she just saw a demon. She screamed that there's someone outside her window. I couldn't believe it. She ran upstairs while I went to her window to confirm it. There was no one out there now, but I knew it wasn't a coincidence. I tried to call my parents, but I couldn't get a hold of either of them. My sister slept in my room with me that night because she was scared. I only went to bed after waiting downstairs for an hour, listening for anything possible. When I was finally in bed, that was when I heard a noise. My sister heard it too, because we both sat up at the exact same time. Our parents weren't supposed to be back that night. I went to lock the bedroom door, and then got 911 on the phone. I whispered into the phone that I was certain we were currently the victims of a break-in. I told my sister to be quiet when she started making crying noises. Footsteps approached the door. Then someone tried twisting the doorknob.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the story, but I'm maybe I'm overthinking this, but I mean, I'm assuming both these kids are in high school, right? And the parents aren't coming back. Like, are they actually coming back? Or I mean, because you do hear stories like this sometimes. Like the parents just like disappear for, a few days, a few weeks. Some shit happens, whatever. This, you know. This has got to, like, my guess is these people are located in Florida. Just everything bad happens in Florida. I'm going to do a podcast one day about Florida because there's just so many things we just can't ignore anymore. But it just, never mind.
They started banging on the door. And in a deep, angry sounding voice, a man said, "I know you're in there. I can smell you." The 911 operator heard it, and she told me to hide in the closet with my sister. I waved my sister over to the closet, and she came. We sat in there quietly the best we could, but he kept banging and banging on the door. My sister cracked. She cried out, "The police are coming, leave us alone." The banging stopped. We heard the man laugh. Then there was silence. Next thing we knew, the police were outside, and the operator told me to quickly get to the front door if the coast was clear to let the police in. The police then did a thorough investigation of the house, which was clear. The entry and exit point was my parents' bedroom window, which he climbed through off the backyard awning. My little sister screaming about the police must have scared him off. The police recommended we sleep somewhere else, so we went to my friend Joe's house. Ever since then, I always verify whoever I'm talking to from online is actually who they say they are.
He said the guy banging at the door, who, clearly was a hot chick. But then again, I don't know. These days, you never know. It maybe could be. I could smell you. So again, people tend to sweat more in Florida. Like it's very. The point is, guys will do anything for pussy. Like even put their family at risk. Sacrifice the lives of their sister. It's a pretty crazy world. I mean, a lot of it does come from Florida. But again, I played the one story before from the same guy here, 3 freaky true dating app horror stories. Now, he's got another one that he had before. I thought this one was better. If you want, listen on YouTube there. The name is Mr. Nightmare. That's that sounds about right. I mean, from what I know, about Florida, I would never go back there again. Again, I'm just assuming it is Florida. It's got that whole vibe thing. I mean, I don't know. They didn't have security. I mean, nobody gives a shit down there. The point is, try to verify, like the guy said, from now on who you're gonna see. But again, there's so many horrific stories out there on YouTube. I'm going to give you a few more. I don't think they're as bad, but more annoying shit you got to put up with. But, again, from a guy's perspective, I get it. There was at one point in the story where he said the night was getting, it was getting later. And then, at one point he said, he calmed down. I just assume he jerked off. Now, listen, as guys, when you're in your teenage years, I mean, you're just walking around with hard-ons all the time. It's cool and annoying at the same time. But yeah, you find when you grow up, you instead of a woman just driving you nuts, and women, I love you, but yeah, you know what you do. You just wank one out, and then after that, you feel fine. You get some chips and you go to bed. That's it. It's that simple. But the point is, if you want to still do the online thing and not jerk off, or if I don't know, rest up for a bit, and the night's still young, always verify the person you're about to meet. That is very important. Especially if they're from Florida. I can't stress this enough. I mean, there's a clip online of an alligator eating another alligator. It's fucking surreal, man. But it's its own fucking country. But anyways, let me carry on with my little spiel here, whatever that means. And yeah, just be careful out there. Florida. So there's one girl I exchanged numbers with. We had a good little rapport there. Because that's always a good sign, right? Nope. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think we're all guilty of this sometimes, and sometimes we just have to make sure. And this is, I don't know if this shows more like how much like more cautious this makes me, or it makes me more look like a dick. I'm going to go with the first one. So, this one person I was talking to here, I give her my number, and I'm pretty sure this is her texting me. I'm not sure. Like a lot of times, probably 8, 9 times out of 10, someone will text back and say, hey, it's so-and-so from wherever. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I know. And then a lot of people, or they'll just do one or the other. But then, there's always the odd person out there that just says hi or hey or hello. And I've no idea who it is, because I could message multiple people. Shut up, we've all done it. And I'm not sure. Sometimes you have a good feeling like who it is. You're like, okay, it's probably this person, because I messaged this person this day, and then they probably would have got it today, and then or like a lot of times you check back at the website and they're like, okay, I just text you, so that's always good too, just to keep track of shit too. That's awesome. So God bless those ladies. But yeah, she just texts me and goes, hey, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know who this is. So I'm kind of trying to narrow it down here, and I think it's one of 2 people. And surprise, surprise, I guessed wrong. So I try to play it off as a joke, but judging by the name, I don't think she would have taken it as a joke, or, but yeah, sometimes you dribble and shoot, and but then she, like after, like, this is my fucking luck. After I said, who's this, through text on the website, she said, this is, yeah. And I was like, fuck, like literally right after. I mean, the timing is just horrible, right? And sometimes you take a chance, like you just call the person, and you're like, okay, fuck it. I'll start the phone calls a little bit early just to find out, who I'm actually talking to. And, and usually they don't pick up because maybe the number's not in their phone yet, and they're just texting, and, she did pick up. And again, I could sort of tell from the voice, and I put it to the name, and I mean, I could say how I figured this out, but, before I said, the 2 options, so it's more like the second option. But anyways, yeah, so then, I'm trying to figure this out, and then, I'm like, I think I know who this is, and she's like, hello. And I was like, hey, and then I'm trying to figure out who is this? And she's like, who is this? And I don't got time for this shit. Well, I don't have time for this shit. Blah, 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 click. And, yeah, so, basically, I mean, in the future, I don't know, for my sakes and maybe another, poor soul out there's sake, if you can, once we exchange numbers with a person, if you can say, hey, it's from wherever, that would be a lot simpler. I mean, you don't have to, but it's a courtesy, And again, shut up. We all do it. We all got our, like, okay, we're talking to this person. It's not just one person. I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes, okay, but whatever, Okay, so fine, I'm more like number two sometimes, but not all the time. Most of the times, a nice guy, and but sometimes, yeah, whatever. The point is, okay, just say who you are, and I think things will be a lot simpler. Thank you. So I talked to another person, sort of the same problem, okay, except she goes, hi, my name is Angel. Now, I've done a lot of bad shit in my life. I did, like, up to this point, including make like a horrible podcast. But at the same time, I don't think it's my time. I don't think I'm dead yet. Like, I don't know, like, at least like do it after Christmas, right? I mean, my God, have a heart here. But yeah. But I don't think I'm dead yet, so I don't think it's an actual angel. But then I'm trying to decipher the name, and then all of a sudden I don't know, it becomes almost like Bumper Stumpers. Remember that show? They give you a bunch of letters and numbers, and it forms like a phrase or something. So maybe it means another name, or it's short for something. And I eventually figured it out, but this is way before I sent her 3 voice notes. And at one point she did say, dating as far as I know, plus it's a weird area code. So I'm thinking like, and plus it's like a Thursday. So usually, you get like all these weird, texts on your phone, on a Thursday, Friday, because they know people get paid and, they want to sucker people into fraud and shit. And, it's not just online dating, folks. It's, I mean, there's scams everywhere nowadays. So yeah, you got to be careful there. But, yeah, I eventually figured it out, but well, not because I narrowed it down, because I actually called, and yes, again, I got a voicemail, and I was like, oh, thank God. And it's one of those voicemails that actually says the name. Sometimes you call someone and it goes, the person you're trying to reach, or the person you are calling is Bupkis. And yeah, you're like, fuck. I still got to figure it out. And then you got to quickly hang up before it, hits the voicemail, So yeah, I was lucky there. But again, ladies and gentlemen, if you could just put a name to the text, I think it's going to make everyone's job a lot easier. I know it looks bad. I get it. I'm not the perfect person. I get that. But, still, just saying. Then I talked to another person, things are going pretty decent, online so far, but I'm like, let's exchange numbers. And she's like, okay, is that, I prefer to talk more on here. Is that okay with you? I'm like, yeah, ask away, but again, like, they'll disappear. So again, like, if you're not interested in talking, just say that. Don't say I don't want to exchange numbers. Just say, I'd rather a woman just say, hey, Baldy, fuck off. Honestly, just please, that's a clear answer. You know what I mean? That's it. Hey, Malaka, go fuck yourself. That's it. Like, that's all I need. I'm a simple guy. But then, like, she disappears for weeks and whatever, and I'm just like, yeah. And then she's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, well, I don't know, for the last few weeks, I guess fine, I guess, and it's one of those things, like, just the hey, how are you conversation just lasts like for, a fucking month. It's like, let's do something here, let's get going, and I literally text her. I said, at this point, I didn't give a shit. I just literally texted her back. I said, we did this already, LOL. Just text me. It's almost 2030, LOL. Here's my number again. She's like, haha, sorry. Okay, I will text you. I'm like, there you go. Thank you. I think I said LOL again. I gotta stop. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll try to cut back on that. Anyways, actually, it's funny. A little side story. The first time I started using a computer, like way back in the day, when I saw LOL, I think I saw it in a chat room or something, and I swear to God, I thought it was someone saying, what I thought I meant? Like, this is how much of a fat ass I am. I literally thought it meant dinner, and I'm gonna explain why. Because I thought it was like a plate, and I thought it was like a knife and a fork, and someone's like, okay, bye, and then they put LOL or gotta go or LOL. So I thought it meant like I'm going to dinner. So, yeah, I'm not stupid. So then she goes, do you have Instagram? And I'm like, fuck. And then she said, I cannot add you. I don't. Why? And I said, why don't you just text me, like a normal human being. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. And yeah, there you go. So yeah, just, let's get to the point here, guys. You don't like me, cool. If you want, text me. That's it. I get it. The phone is a personal thing, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, but Instagram, I don't know. Nobody gives a shit about that, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. A lot of people. Do people still use Instagram or no? I don't know. A lot of people consider it poop. And the reason why I said that, folks, is because the girl that I argued with before, who I didn't remember the name, I asked her, how's online, dating for you? And she goes, it's poop. So I haven't heard that in a very long time. I just thought I'd throw that in there for no fucking reason. But the point is, yeah, just get to the point. If you don't like me, cool. If you do, let's carry on an awesome conversation. That's all. And speaking of awesome conversations, here's a golden one for you. So before I mentioned, I don't know, one of the last podcasts, maybe the one before it, I was talking to a girl who, still refused to give me, she gave me her initials, but not her actual name. But she would tell me her initials were her name, and I'm like, bullshit. Like nobody's named that. I mean, it's not even like a cool initial like DJ or anything, like just come on. I get it's a security thing, whatever, but don't lie. And I don't know. I think she was Filipino and she laughs a lot. I don't know. The point is, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here, and and I found out she lives close to me, so that's cool. So I figured, what, let's keep this conversation going. Just for you ever talk to someone online and you don't have a lot in common with them, but then you find out they live close and they kind of move up a couple points, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, I don't know, maybe I could, like this person, maybe the more I get to know them. I mean, they do live close, because a lot of times, yeah, you do put in, I want to meet someone within 5, 10, 15 miles, whatever, and then it gives you, fucking Florida. And, yeah, and you're like, fuck it, I'll just give in. So that's what I'm doing here, Plus, worst case, I got a shitty story for the podcast. And again, a lot of times, she'll take a picture. I'm just asking her for another picture, just something where, the last picture looked like she was in the distance there. Yeah, you had to double click the picture just to see the face decent. And same thing here. And what's funny is she sent me a picture that was a little bit closer, and then right underneath the picture she said, "Don't tell me it's too far again." So I thought that was funny. So I'm like, okay, she's got a good sense of humor. That's not bad. So whatever. And then we start talking a little bit more, and then I'm trying to figure out her living situation. I don't know. She says she lives with her aunt and she might rent a house, but then her aunt owns the house, or they might have a whole operation thing going there. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know. Regardless, she's got a roof under her head. So, I mean, if you live in Toronto, that's actually saying a lot these days. And then all of a sudden, like, she, says her, initials, like, this is for this, satisfied. And just, as a joke, I go, not really, no, LOL. I know I'm doing that too much. But she's like, oh, okay, and I don't know. It seems like we got a decent little rapport. So this seems like an ongoing pointless story here. Could lead to something, who knows? But I don't know. Good sense of humor. So, she's cute too. I mean, Filipino. I'm gonna have to tell her that she can't chop up little bits of hot dog in pasta. I don't know. Like, Italians don't like that. But the point is, who knows? You never know. You just never know. I thought follow up on that story. That's all. I mean, could it go somewhere? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. But hey, you never know. You just stay up. I mean, hopefully, I don't know, a murderer doesn't knock on my door. I mean, who knows? I mean, the aunt could be an uncle, and he's I don't know, scoping out places to rob for her. I don't know. Just well, I'll keep you posted. Don't worry. So this one other person I'm talking to, she seems nice, good little rapport. Um, she may or may not live in a part of Toronto that pretty much has a shooting there every night, but whatever. Um, and I'm just talking to her. She's a good-looking woman, for her age. And then she tells me she's celibate. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, that is a very fancy word for like, I'm not fucking anymore. That's basically what it means. And I find out she has 4 kids. Which I mean, in financial times these days is 3 too many. But most of them are older. I think it's like I don't know, 20s and then teens and a few 10s or whatever. It's all good, whatever. I don't know if she does it as a single parent. That's pretty crazy. I even told her that, and she's like, yeah, I'm a superwoman. I'm like, yes, you are. And she is. I gave her that comment. I said, all jokes aside, I sent her a message saying, listen, all jokes aside, I don't know how the fuck you do it, especially in this economy. It is pretty crazy, But I'm still stuck on the no sex thing, which really confuses me because she has 4 kids. So it's not like she's opposed to it. And she's like, oh, you're still young. You're still thinking of, I'm not that much younger than her, maybe 10 years or something. I'm a guy, Greek and Italian. It's always with us, man. It is what it is, but she's like, I got rid of all my toys because I immune. Now, English is clearly not her first language, but I understand what she's saying. I understand the no sex thing. That is something that will translate in any language. Doesn't matter. She's like, do you have a problem with that? And listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a guy. This is the part where I'm not saying you have to lie, but this is where you have to dance around the truth. Okay? Do a little waltzing here and there and go, no, of course not. I have no problem with that at all. You are, if you're happy, I'm happy. Bullshit. But of course I had a fucking problem with it. Come on. I'm not saying sex on the first date, but Jesus, And I'm not saying I'm going for kid number 5 either, but, still. Just saying. She wakes up very early in the morning too, She's a hard worker, and I don't know how she does it. It's pretty crazy, But I guess if you have no sex, you got way more energy, right? Me after, it's either, like I want to go to bed, or I don't know, have some chips, and, I don't know, Doritos now, they have these chips now that I like, they're burger flavor, but I don't know, they must have teamed up with Mickey D's or something because it tastes like a McDonald's cheeseburger. It's I don't know if they secretly teamed up or there's a lawsuit in the making. I don't know, but anyways, and just pass out. That's it. So yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like her English is it's not the best. Spelling horrible, grammar, but yeah, she seems funny and all that. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there is a point where I really don't know. She told me she's like half Caribbean, so I'm trying to bond with her a little bit. Trying to speak the language. So at one point, uh, I like she said something, and then I said something probably stupid, and then she texted me back SMH, which is like, like that, and then I send her a message saying sucking my teeth, because like if I've learned this from black chicks in clubs, if a girl a black girl sucks her teeth at you, it's not good, especially if she like waves the hand, and kind of turns her head very quickly, almost like a kind of like an Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator kind of thing, it's not good. So I'm like, okay, so I got to bring out the big guns here. I got to start talking talking the language here, and she goes like like, oh, like, what do you mean and all that. And I text her, you don't know way I dink. Now I spelled it YADUNNO Y, or sorry, WAYEYEDINK. Now I just assume that's how it goes. I thought I did pretty well there. And she goes like, what are you saying? And in my head, I'm thinking, I don't know, but let me just, like go with it, And then at one point, she asked me, like, like what's a dink, and I sent her a voice note saying, dink, dink, you tink, This is, I know deep down this is sad, but still, I'm gonna roll with it. And then I make a joke about her age. I mean, I said she was 55. I mean, listen, she could have been 30. She could have been 54. I'm not sure, but she laughed at that. That was funny. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. And then at one point, yeah, she found it really annoying. And then she said, before you think I'm illiterate, I will make my exit. I don't think the period two of us compatible. Sorry, wasting your time. So you're missing maybe, I'm going to say 2-3 key letters there, but I pretty much understood what she was saying. So I texted her back, fascinating. And then she said, you act like a clown, very immature. It's a turn off. Good luck, Mr. Comedian. Mr. Comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call a compliment. So you know what? No love connection there, but you know what? If I can make someone laugh for a few minutes or even a few days, it was worth it. So the last girl I talked to here, she seemed way more angry, way more quicker, didn't have that much more patience. Let me explain. So I'm still talking to her now, but like we had a good rapport in the beginning, had a good little conversation there on the phone. Then again, she kind of disappeared there, but that's okay, text back and forth. I'm busy at work, whatever. It's all good. It's all good, And a lot of times, let's be honest, you do get your walking papers, at some point. Maybe she's not really busy, but who knows? Again, I've said this before. I got impatient with a girl years ago, talking to her online, disappeared for 2 weeks. Then I'm like, oh, if you didn't like me, just say so, blah, blah, blah. I got pissed off. Then she's like, oh, someone died in my family. Thanks for understanding, you jerk off, blah, blah, blah. So, you learn when you're younger. You got to be more patient. I'm not trying to make believe in. I'm trying here. So, she's like, "How's your week?" And I asked her the same thing. She never answered. So I was hating people like, just say fine or whatever. And then I go, "I'll assume good, LOL." I'm like, okay, and she's like, "Hey, busy as f dot dot dot." I mean, I'm just surprised she didn't say fuck. She seems like the type of girl that would just say fuck. So as a joke, I said fun. And then she's like, "Oh, mostly frustrating." I'm like, okay, there, it's okay, no worries, and then she said, "Every time I try to run away from politics or of it, I get pulled right back in, you know, and it's pretty much the only good scene in Godfather Part 3, when Al Pacino says that. It's a really shitty movie. I mean, we like to think it never existed. Thank God they didn't make a fourth one. And holy shit, almost ended Pacino's career. But the point is, he bounced back. Don't worry. Son of a woman, hooah, which is an acronym. It spells something. I forgot. I'll do a podcast about Al Pacino one day. Don't worry. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, I just told her, I just tell him, you need some space, and like, I didn't mean any of this condescending, like the whole, I mean, literally she quoted The Godfather, and I think she's like part Italian too. So I thought it was all connected, whatever. That's why I said the joke. And then it starts a whole, fucking, hurricane here, not really looking for advice here, but thanks, I guess, And I said, "Geez, sorry, you're welcome, I guess, And she says, "And condescending." Well, you did come across as quite patronizing, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, that wasn't my intent at all. I was genuine. If anybody understands stress, trust me, it's me. I've been doing security for 17 years. I mean, Jesus H. Geez, what the F? Your genuine came across as mocking, just saying, but she's saying, or you're saying, that's not the case. And I'm like, yeah, you couldn't be more wrong. I mean, that's not the case at all. I'm trying to explain to her, like, it's all genuine shit, and then she texts me back, their little girl basically are calling me Pacino. I mean, I didn't say little girl. And the Pacino reference, again, I'm Italian, you're Italian, fuck, I thought that was a layup. I mean, how the fuck did you not get that? But to be fair, I mean, that is the shittiest one. I mean, it's, it's probably better off if she didn't. Actually, now I think about it, fuck, I think we talked before about favorite movies, and I mentioned The Godfather. I think she said she's never seen any of them, so could that be a coincidence? Oh shit, could that be a coincidence that she just said that? Or, but everybody knows that line. I mean, it's Pacino. I mean, how the fuck do you not know, It's like not knowing that Superman is allergic to, kryptonite. I mean, it's common knowledge, man. Fuck. But anyways, story of my life. And then, and the fact that you are now getting quite defensive, and then I text her back, I'm like, you're reading way too much into this, you know what I mean? And, my tone is condescending, and then she pulls this card. She goes, guaranteed that if I showed this to other women, they would all think the tone was disrespectful, but whatever, let's just drop it. And the first thing that pops in my mind, I go, so why would you only here's my thing. Why would you only show this to women? Why don't you show it to everybody? Huh? That shows more sexism on your part. Exactly. I mean, think about it. Like, why don't you show it to anybody? And again, I'm not trying to create the, Mars versus Venus here. I'm just saying, And again, why the fuck would you? People always do that. They go, oh, well, if we had if we were taping this, then, you would see that. I'm like, well, actually, that's a bad choice of words in my hand, because if you look at my other podcast. But anyways, the point is, no, Don't show it to anybody. Actually, you know what? I even said go. I think at one point I said, yeah, go for it. But I don't know. Maybe I said that in my head. The point is, yeah, I was just like, yeah. Once again, that wasn't my intent. Oh yeah, I did. I said, if you want, sure. Damn, what have guys done to you? You know, because now I'm thinking like, holy shit, like what's this girl been through? I don't know. And now she's, hitting on me, and God only knows how many guys. And again, I was just trying to help. Not really, nothing really to drop. What does that mean? I wrote that. I forgot. What does that mean? Nothing really to drop. I don't know what that means. I was just trying to help you. Please don't take it out on me. Just trying to be nice. Nothing really to drop. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't know. Yeah, sometimes when you get angry, you just make no sense sometimes. But anyways, she said, I'm not trying to take it out on you. And I said, it feels like it, And then she finally, got to what I was thinking. She's like, I deal with condescending men every day who try to, pull the shit on me because I'm just a woman. I've been sexually harassed at work by a former boss. It's real and it's a regular thing. I am just one of those women who doesn't put up with any of this stuff because I value myself. Again, I don't want to really talk about this, and also don't have time right now to get into it. And no, I am not overly sensitive. Thanks for trying to help. And I said, you're welcome. I also thought in my mind, like, she hasn't talked to me in weeks, or little messages back and forth, and then something triggers, and then all of a sudden you want to talk. So again, yeah, we're all thinking it. Trust me. I mean, yeah, there's something there. Anyways, the point is, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, you implied some stuff there, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, I don't do that. I told you that I was direct in my communications, so I just directly told you how I perceived your comments. That's all. Well, that is now your own perception. And in my head, I'm like, it's literally right there in text. I mean, it's, that's the great thing about texting is like once you, it's right there, man. You can't deny it. You know what I mean? So, and then I just made a joke saying like, so much for dropping it. So she goes, so I guess it's the way your texts come across. And for the record, I am not mad or upset. All right. And I said, my texts are fine. You're overthinking it. And she said, okay. I said, I hope not, referring to the, mad and upset comment. My comments are genuine and I'm not backing down on that. There we go. She doesn't back down. I don't back down. No, I won't back down. That's why we're real single. Anyways, she said, okay. I said, okay. And then I said, don't worry, it's all good. And then I made a joke. Oh, no. And then I made a joke saying, so listen, who do I got to, come over there and pay a visit, because you're like, who's disrespecting you? And then a little while after I said, I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that. But at the same time, you shouldn't be treated like that. And I haven't heard anything back since. So the point is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what the point is anymore. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, there's angry people online. There's crazy people online. There's, people that, I think they have too many kids, more than they can handle. Can't take a joke. They don't know how to understand me correctly now. But the point is, I'm someone's going to hear this and I'm going to get shot. The point is, just be clear with everything you see online. I think that's the main focus in this podcast. Try to do your best to be careful. Find out what someone's real intentions are, who they are, what they want, and try to, just try to be a nice person. Just do your best to, be happy and smile. Never gets old. Never gets old. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm I've done too many of these in the last week. I'm really starting to lose my voice. This has been another thrilling, very argumentative episode of Computer Love, part 31.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Oh, true enemy has not yet shown his face.
Michael! Michael! Oh, God! I don't know what he's doing.